Hi guys, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, on this video, let's talk about the Anupama series, and we'll be talking about an upcoming episode which is going to be happening in the Anupama series very soon, and that's about Anuj and Malti Devi. So guys, without wasting more time, let's dive straight into the video to find out the exciting episode that will be coming on our way in the Anupama series pretty very soon. But before I dive into the video guys, please don't forget, this is the UG update. In case if you are yet to subscribe, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget to give this video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, the episode starts with Anupama tells Anu that she had told him about the file which she got from Guruma's stuff, and says she got this photo from that file. Then she says she wanted to tell me yesterday but couldn't tell him. She says maybe God wanted you to know this today. Says she had put photo in the purse while going to the orphanage, and when she was giving check to Sushma, she gave the photo along with it mistakenly, and the photo fell down that Sushma identified him to be you. So she tells that when she asked her about the proofs, she gave your birth certificate and also the receipt of Malti Devi, handing him over to the orphanage, and also the donations receipt which she used to send all these years. So Malti Devi cries hearing this, and then Anuj looks at her. Ba says Anuj relatives appear from nowhere, but this time the relation is known after relatives entry. So Babuji says it is God's Leela, then Varat says unbelievable. Paki says it is shocking, then Adik says when it is so shocking for us, then we can't think how much it will be shocking for you. Then Romeo says I can understand, even I was shocked when mommy made me meet Papa. Then Paka says it is a shocking twist. Malti Devi is your mother. Choti Anu asks what is the happening, then Kavya says Gruma is your papa's mother. Choti Anu gets happy, then Anupama tells Malti Devi that though she didn't know that he is her son, but her heart knows, and that's why you used to call him better. So she says after your parents' demise, you used to miss them and see that God sent your mother to you. So she says he snatched Yashoda and returned Devki, and says nothing can be more beautiful than this moment. Malti Devi asks if he is my son, then Anupama says yes. Malti Devi gets emotional, then Anupama says you have written A with embroidery, though your mind didn't know but your heart knew that he is your son. Malti Devi touches his cheek and says my son Anuj. Then she says it's again my son Anuj. Anupama smiles and gets emotional too. Then Anuj is in shock. He stops Malti Devi and asks her to go far from him. So he says you are not my mother. Then Anupama asks what are you saying? Anuj says now I understand why I was feeling hot seeing her here, and I was restless when I heard her voice and felt hatred for her. Anupama says she is your mother. Then Anuj says if she was my mother, then she wouldn't have left me in the orphanage. So he says she is great, the Malti Devi. Malti Devi says you are my son. Anuj says you are not my mother and I am not your son. So he says I can't accept him even once. He says you know what mother means for me, but after meeting her, it is a curse for me. So Malti Devi is shocked, and then Varat says I can understand your feelings and don't have right to say anything, and asks her to give some time to her. Anuj says how much time I shall give to her. I gave her more than 40 years. So he says Anu told me that she is my mother, but I want to tell Malti Devi Ji that no woman becomes a mother after giving birth to a baby. But a woman becomes a mother for giving the motherly love to the baby. Like Anu became of my Jyoti. Then he says, you are a stranger for me, and says you never wrote any letter to me and didn't care if I am alive or dead. Then Ba says she might be helpless. Then Anuj says I know everyone will say this. Then he says he wants to hear what was her helplessness. Malti Devi is shocked, then Varat asks him to listen to her once. Anuj says I don't want to have any relation with her, not even hatred relation, as she doesn't deserve this. He tells Anupama that she never turned and came to see him. Thanks Anupama and says I am really thankful for inquiring and finding out all this, and you might be thinking that it is the most beautiful moment of my life, but sorry to tell you, this is the most painful and hurtful moment for me. So he says I saw you closely and knows how a mother would be. So she says I have seen you with the children who are not born to you, and you are like a mother for Kinjal, Dimpi and Anu. So he says even you know that mother is not like her. So he says you don't have an answer. He asked Malti Devi why did she left him in the orphanage after giving him birth. So he says if she wanted to make a career, then she would have made it while keeping him with her. So he says he was in the orphanage for 8 years and says I used to get food, clothes and shelter, but there was no relations or family there. He says when I used to get scared, there was no mother, and says there was no father to make me walk holding his finger. And says there was nobody to taught me values, though there were many to teach discipline. So he says orphanage is better than road, but why don't the parents understand that there are no parents in the orphanage? And says it is dark cave where the kids get scared and couldn't find a way. He asks why the parents don't understand all this before leaving their kids there. Anupama hugs him to pacify him, but Choti Anu hugs him also. Then he takes her in his lap and tells that only she can understand him and not Anupama and others. She tells that we used to sleep with tears in our eyes and used to wake up with tears. Nobody makes us sleep. Then he says these papers prove that you gave birth to me, and says my mother is my mother who brought me here for orphanage, brought me up and taught me good values and made me this. He says you are not my mother. This episode is quite an emotional one, especially for Anuj, on knowing that Malti Devi is his mother, but he's insisting that Malti Devi didn't give him the motherly love he deserves, and so Malti Devi is not his mother. Guys, what do you think about this episode? Please drop what you think on the comment section. And as you do that, please don't forget, this is the YouTube update. In case if you are yet to subscribe, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, that will be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. You guys have been amazing and I love you guys. I'll see you guys on my next video.